So, Moontype's debut album, Bodies of Water, has been causing a bit of a stir in the indie rock music scene, and one of the most notable aspects about it is just how difficult it's been to place it in the current music landscape. For example, Spotify can't seem to figure out anything about it other than that it's a new indie rock album, and the band's own bio lists influences like Adrian Lenker and Gillian Welch, while also talking about how the group formed out of a previous avant-garde and country music outfit. So I'm going to step into the ring here and give my opinion. And to my ears, Bodies of Water is probably best described as a noise rock album. The fundamental formula here is bright, noisy instrumentation overlaid with demure vocals which carry strong melodic hooks. And that has been the cornerstone of noise rock since the days of Dinosaur Jr. and Sonic Youth, or even like Joy Division. Now, I don't doubt at all that artists like Adrian Lenker, Gillian Welch, Julian Baker, or like Fen Lilly served as inspiration for this album. However, I think it's worthwhile to realize that the core appeal of Moontype derives from a different basis than those singer-songwriter and somewhat folk-adjacent artists. Listening through this album, there were quite a few artists who came to mind as having similar sonics, but one that was particularly salient to me was Speedy Ortiz. And in particular on the track When Will I Learn, the yelpy female vocal hook laid over noise rock guitars struck me as being quite a bit like something you might get from Sadie Dupuis. And she is pretty much a queen as far as noise rock goes. And wouldn't you know it, when I looked at Moontype's About Me section on Spotify, it's actually written by none other than Sadie Dupuis herself. So I think that's definitely an influence worth noting at this point. However, I don't think that Moontype is at all derivative or one note as far as this genre goes, and that's what really makes this album so interesting. And while When Will I Learn might have given me a bit of a Speedy Ortiz vibe, the big single, Fairy, is pretty much a straight new gaze track. If the guitar wall on that track was any bigger, Pity Sex might start feeling infringed upon. And while the guitar tones avoid pure shoegaze territory, it's still very much in the realm of newer bands like Yuck and Cloud Nothings. And lastly, I think the delicate vocals can kind of prime you to think this album should have a singer-songwriter feel to it. And honestly, it does enter that territory a little bit, especially on the last two tracks. However, the primary catch here is that the soft vocals are generally in contrast to the energetic instrumentation rather than in synergy with it. And that creates a disconnect between what's happening in the vocal line and the rest of the arrangement. I think the best example of this is the other big single, About You. And the secret sauce here is that the vocals have a very soothing timbre while the guitars are bright, a bit harsh, and very distorted. And this makes the vocals feel disconnected and a bit free-floating from the rest of the instrumentation. And because of this, the two can move independently and create counterpoint melodies, which results in that awesome sensation where it feels like your mind is trying to follow two catchy melodies at once. But then you can also realign the vocals and the instruments and have them move in unison. And this is an excellent way to create a powerful and very catchy hook. About You utilizes this in quite a few places, like in the second verse where the vocals overlay a guitar arpeggio, or in the outro where the vocals and guitars realign to create emphasis and consonance. So try giving the song a listen and look for when the vocals and guitars are in or out of alignment, because I think it's done quite well. And as a bit of an aside, Joanna Gruesome is another noise rock group who use this technique quite heavily. And I think if you ignore the Riot Girl aspects of their sound, you'll see how many similarities there are to Moontype. Okie dokie, summary time. Bodies of Water strikes me as pretty clearly being a noise rock album. However, it's clearly one that understands the full playbook and brings a few new ideas to boot in order to create its own unique sound. And as far as I'm concerned, this album has pretty much overnight landed Moontype into the limelight of this corner of indie rock. Alright, I hope you enjoyed my little discussion. I made a playlist with some songs that I think you might like if you enjoyed this album. It mostly consists of artists I discussed in this video, but it's pretty different from what you might be able to find by just like poking at the related artists on Spotify. So I'm hoping it might put you into a realm of some new artists that maybe aren't on your radar. So there's a link to that in the description. Lastly, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button because it really helps me out. And leave your thoughts about this album in the comments because I'm more than happy to chat about it. I'm not a music critic or any type of authority. I'm just a guy who likes helping people discover and appreciate new music. So, alright, that's it. I'm done. Thanks for watching.